Hello, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Amanda Fernandez. This is my first time doing a video and posting it online, so forgive me on the off chance for some reason this doesn't come out clear. I'll make sure to talk as clearly and make sure that I'm loud enough for you guys to hear me. Alrighty, so to start off, first of all, so my lesson for our art is going to be drip painting. That's what I titled my second lesson plan. But before we even get into drip painting, I just wanted to let you know that my first lesson actually went really well. The kids were all engaged in the game. My first lesson was called the object letter game, and basically they were just because of the age group, which was 3 to 4. They were comparing objects and saying the letter and recognizing each letter to its corresponding object, which was a big success. Some of the takeaways that I'm taking from my last lesson was, one, making sure that maybe I have some more materials per se. I prepared for 21 students, so what I did was I had 3 boxes, or in my case a box and 2 bags. I wasn't really I didn't have any extra boxes for the first lesson plan, so I improvised and used some bags. And basically it was the same principle. I put 7 objects in each separate bag or box, and from there I just I explained to the teachers in the small group activities, and I obviously did my own group as well to observe my students. And what I did was I just told them it's going to be like a game, and that they that when they play the game, to help the child, first encourage them to see if they can recognize the letter, or if they know the letter already. But if not, obviously they can help them as soon as they pick their object from the box or bag. Sorry, forgive me if it looks like I'm not paying attention to the camera. I'm reading what I would like to discuss as I'm talking to you guys. So forgive me. So that's kind of what I did last week, and kind of things that I know I'm taking away besides providing extra materials, because I only had 7 objects, so sometimes the students would pick the same object over and over again. I think what I should have done was say, okay, keep the object until all the objects are gone, depending on how many people are at the table. And then once all the objects have been picked, put them back in the box, reshuffle it, or bag, or even then maybe switch a box and the bag, so that the students could take turns deciphering different letters and objects. And some of the things that actually really worked was definitely communicating with the master teacher. She was very helpful. I had Miss Kathy as my master teacher, so she helped me out a lot. In this case, she didn't really provide any materials for me. I provided most of the materials myself from either the Dollar Tree or the household items that I had around the house, which definitely for this next project, I'm going to make sure that the teacher has some materials before I buy them. Luckily, I only bought them from the Dollar Tree, so it wasn't expensive. But definitely, I got to make sure to talk to the teacher about what they have for materials and such. I didn't really have a terrible time with the students. They all seem to have engaged. in the activity. Didn't really have any special instances. The only thing that was really occurring at the time was picture day, so I didn't have as many students in my group. I only had about 3. I would have liked to have more, but I was with Miss Kathy's group, so she could observe me with her students. So I only had three students to work with. So definitely, I'll definitely make sure to get into a reasonable amount of sized group, but because of picture days, kind of threw everything a little off balance. But other than that, everything seemed fine with me. Personally, I don't think I didn't have really any troubles. In fact, it actually went so well. The teacher requested to make a copy of my lesson plan to share with the other teachers and for future activities with her students to help them with the letters, with their letters and alphabets, and even alphabet sounds, or even like object recognition. So I was very encouraged by that. So I'd like to keep that momentum up if I could, by being a little outside the box and being a little creative as I go. So that's kind of done for section 1. Excuse me as I check this off. So now we get to the fun part. As I said before, my lesson 2 plan is called drip painting. I don't know if you can read the title at least, but drip painting. So on the off chance the title didn't give it away, what I'm going to have my students do is basically use paint, and they're going to drip it onto a sheet of paper, but they're not going to be using paintbrushes. I'm doing this to not only the main focus for curriculum wise is art, so kind of, I guess, incorporating art. I want them to be a little creative with the materials that they use. So instead of paintbrushes, I want them to use droppers that they have, so or tiny turkey basters. On the off chance you guys don't know what like droppers are, or I know I'm gonna probably add this onto my materials list later, probably this evening or maybe even tomorrow morning before I go to my observation. Maybe even like popsicle sticks. Like I have a popsicle stick right here, but something that they can, a tool that they can use to drip onto a page. And so kind of just a quick look at what I'm going to have my students doing. Obviously there's going to be multiple colors. They're not going to be just using one color, they're going to be using multiple colors of their choosing. And what they're going to do, unfortunately in my house I don't have any turkey basters or droppers, but in this case popsicle stick works fine as well. This paint is kind of thick because I'm using like house paint, not like crafts paint, so it's going to be a little bit thicker definitely, and definitely a little bit more slower as I'm trying to show you this. But kind of the gist of it is they're going to take like a glob of paint, and what I want them to do is I kind of want them to like dribble across the page. I don't know if you can kind of see it on the camera, but I'll adjust the camera a little. So here we go. So as you can see, I'm just kind of dribbling the paint, and I'm not expecting them to make like a Picasso painting. I just want them to paint whatever they want with whatever colors they want. In fact, I'm going to encourage them as they do this to, if they want to mix colors on their page, they're more than welcome to, making new colors. So the main focus of this activity besides art is probably definitely some physical development, So because of the tools that I'd like them to be using, it's definitely going to be incorporating like fine motor skills, or definitely some basic motor skills, so like squeezing, grabbing, pinching. Some integrated stuff, probably not a lot, but on the off chance for some reason I do have a advanced student in my class. If first there could be math integrated into this, and I say math because for some reason on the off chance they notice on their page they made a triangle, they can say, "Oh, look, teacher, I made a triangle," and by then I can encourage them, "Oh, well, what makes you say that it's a triangle?" And we can obviously encourage them to count the sides to see if it is a triangle or if it's a different shape. Patterns, on the off chance they're alternating between different colors, and us teachers see that, we can definitely point it out to them and say, "Look what you did! You made a pattern, red, blue, or purple, green, or something like that." So that's kind of integrating math. Literature and language could be integrated into this. I'm doing mine based off of HighScope, where they don't have to use any stencils or anything. So, because I know there's some places they do drip art, but they're kind of creating their name, or it's on like a name plate. In this case, we're not even doing that. But on the off chance for some reason, again, if the student is advanced or they want to incorporate what they learned, like letters or something, and they somehow they drip a letter C or a letter D or something, then obviously we can say, "Oh, that's a lovely D. What sound does a D make?" And or what is D? What word starts with D, or what object can start with D? So just some basic integrated stuff. And like I said, this is kind of what I'm expecting, but more colorful, not so much as just a solid brown color. So I'm hoping for more colors. Again, this is more, I have to talk to the teacher and see what kind of things she has. On the off chance I have to buy some more materials. But again, I'm only expecting this, really. I'm not expecting much from them. But other than that, I hope this video shows you what I'm going to be doing this week for art. Any feedback and constructive criticism to help me is appreciated. And hope to see you guys next week, and good luck on your lesson 3 assignment. Thanks, guys. Bye.